Okay, wanted to go over some things with you on questions that come up quite a bit and big boo-boos that people make when they're buying citizenship by investment property. And it's not just in St. Kitts, it's in other areas too that have citizenship zones, like in Grenada, places like Dominica, St. Lucia, but it's more so in St. Kitts because St. Kitts has a lot more properties to qualify for citizenship than the other areas, because St. Kitts' citizenship program dates back to 1984. So we've got citizenship properties. I mean, literally, we got about 100 different developments here that qualify for citizenship. So there's just a huge choice to choose from. So it's a big decision when you make a property investment. But these are the things I'm going to tell you that you should be looking for if you're going to be getting citizenship, whether it's the donation option or the real estate option. And it can be in any of the places, like I say, that have the real estate and donation option, not just St. Kitts and Nevis, because we deal with the other countries too, and it works the same way. Also, folks, if you want to look at get your income taxes to zero, how to get a second passport as quick as 45 days, do 3 things. Hit the subscribe button on the right of your screen. You get new videos automatically as they come out. And number 2 is I would like to hear from you. If you got a question or comment, put it below. And number 3 is go to our website, www.citizenshipquickly.com, and just ask for some help. All right, now, this is the thing you got to look for. I have a lot of people that come down, they give me advice. Most of them listen, but there are a few that don't. They pretty much, libertarians can be real stubborn, and we get mostly libertarians that get citizenship, and they really have their own way about doing things, and sometimes they almost have to learn the hard way. But when you're getting citizenship by investment, some people will actually pick the donation option, and this is the biggest excuse they'll come up with, is they'll say, well, if I go with the donation option, I don't have to go citizenship property that are in the citizenship zones. And they think there's more to choose from, which there is. There's a lot more properties that are outside the citizenship zones than inside. And they'll say, if I get a donation option, then I don't have to stick, with a citizenship by investment property. I can just deal with, wherever I want to buy, and not have one conflict with the other. Now, that sounds like pretty good advice, when you think about it. But I'm going to tell you the problems that you run into when you do that. First of all, we list properties that qualify for citizenship and ones that don't. So it doesn't make any difference to us. I'm just telling you, when you resell it, you're going to have to look at the market, what you're going to end up getting for the property. That's the key thing. And you also want to look at the total dollars that you're paying out that won't come back to you. Let me give you an example of what I'm talking about. If you go with the donation option, your out-of-pocket dollars will always be more. I'm talking about out-of-pocket dollars that will not come back to you. I'm not talking about the property investment. I'm talking about fees, government fees, background check fees, all kinds of fees that you're paying out that won't come back to you. That figure is always going to be higher with the donation option than the real estate option, okay? So if you go and you go with the donation option, and then you decide you want to go and get property that's outside the citizenship zone, okay? Several problems that you run into. Number 1, if you're going to be doing that and you're going to get property anyway, why not go with the real estate option? Because your out-of-pocket is going to be a lot less on fees that won't come back to you, okay? So you already know you're going to get a property. Why not do it where the money, almost all of it's invested? In fact, I've mentioned to you before, we've got a developer right now, they got a few units left. They're actually picking up all your out-of-pocket except for the property. In other words, you're basically paying for the property itself. And all those other fees like government fees, background check fees, legal fees, they're picking all that up, okay? But the big key is you can actually take it and resell it for someone else that wants to purchase for citizenship, okay? You can't do that when you buy outside the citizenship zones, except for properties that qualify for the home program. But remember, the home program only qualifies for you to get citizenship, not to resell it again. Okay, and that's the big market, is the resale. Okay, and that's why I tell people, if you're thinking about coming down to St. Kitts and not even getting citizenship, you just want to get a property, I'm going to tell you, you're better off sticking with properties that qualify for citizenship. Whether you're going to get the citizenship or not, you don't have to use that property for citizenship. But when you resell it, man, your market goes through the roof many times more for people that will buy that versus people that won't buy it, okay? Now, I gave y'all some figures on another video a while back, so you might not have remembered it, or you might have gone in one ear out the other. I actually got with one of the top people and got some, this is in the registry office, and got some figures. This was 2014. The figures will be a little bit different today, but I can tell you they hold pretty much the same. That is for every 50 citizen, listen to me now, every 50 citizenship properties that were sold, one outside citizenship property sold. 50 to 1 means for every single citizenship sale that was made, there was 50 properties that were sold for every single one that was outside the citizenship. That gives you the odds, the market capability when you buy a citizenship property. And see, so many people don't know these figures. They don't come down. They don't know what they're doing. And they'll think they're getting a better deal because they look at cost per square foot. And you will find cheaper properties outside the citizenship zones that are cheaper per square foot, okay, than on the citizenship zones. But this is the problem. Who's going to buy your property? I just gave you the figures. You can look at the figures, 50 to 1, okay? It's a lot easier to sell your property if you're selling a property that qualifies for citizenship, again, okay? This is why you want to, even if you're not going to go and get citizenship, as I mentioned to you before, stick with the citizenship zones when you buy, okay? And then you try to get a good price from there, inside those zones. It's a lot easier because foreigners come in. I've had people literally have bought properties here for citizenship. They've never, ever seen the property other than pictures. They just didn't take the time to come out down here. I can tell you, I've never had someone that wanted a property outside of citizenship that didn't come down and look at the property, okay? And I'm not saying we won't have it in the future. I'm just saying as of right now, because usually those people come down for lifestyle living. A lot of them are going to move here to St. Kitts. They want to see the house they're moving in. People with citizenship are getting the property mainly because of citizenship. If it wasn't for citizenship, they wouldn't have been buying here to begin with, okay? So your market's a lot bigger. And I'll tell you something, when you resell it, percentage-wise, you'll do better, depending on, what price you got it for. I mean, that's going to have something to do with it too, what you paid for it. But I can tell you, a lot easier to sell, okay? The only exception to that rule, there are certain areas of town where you almost never see properties come up on the market. And these are places, and I've had videos on this, places like Newtown that will not qualify for citizenship. You never see a property down there for sale. But if one comes open for sale, I've seen them as low as 60 to 80,000 US. It's right in town. Your yield's real high on that as far as rental income. But guess what? Petitions don't move very much. Most of all those are locals that live there, and they're not going to sell. Those houses are usually, they pass them down to their kids, grandkids, great-grandkids. They just don't sell them. I mean, I've been here 15 years, man. I've probably seen 1 or 2 that's come open in there, maybe 3. Very few that ever come open in the market down there. They just, and if they do come up in the market, usually they're snatched up pretty quick because there's just not that many that are coming up on the market down there for that price. That's the only exception I would say for the rule. That's properties that are close into town that are under 100,000 US, but I'm going to tell you something, folks. They just don't come open very often. You just don't see them. I mean, when they do come open, usually people snap them up fast. And if you're looking, also, I would much rather live out in Frigate Bay than downtown anyway, because of the noise factor and stuff. But these are things that you really should be taking note of, because a lot of people don't listen to this, and they end up coming down. They buy properties that are outside the citizenship zones, and then what happens is they all of a sudden they realize they paid, you know, $500,000, $600,000, $700,000 for a house, doesn't qualify for citizenship. So you're going to have to find someone that's coming to St. Kitts that's, you know, not getting citizenship. And there is a market of people that do that, that are retired, or maybe their family grew up here and they moved to the UK. We get a lot of people from the UK that come back to St. Kitts, and also the US. But the point I'm trying to make is the fact that you're putting yourself in a small market. And I'm telling you that, but all those also people, the same people, when they come to St. Kitts, also pick citizenship by investment. So you get that same market of people. But what happens is it's a lot bigger, because now you get the people that are wealthy, that will come in and buy for citizenship, that you would lose when you get outside those citizenship zones. And just to give you an example, I have very few clients that have a net worth that get citizenship under 5 million US. Those people can pay cash. What happens is when you start dealing with a market of people coming in wanting to finance and stuff, man, it's totally different. So much easier when someone has cash that comes in, doesn't need to finance. They just come down here. It's nothing to plop down, you know, $500,000, $600,000, $800,000. That's the type of market you run into when you deal with a citizenship by investment client. That's why you want to stick to that type of market. Folks, if you want to learn more on this, again, go to our website, www.citizenshipquickly.com, and just ask for some help. And don't forget, hit the subscribe button right at your screen. We've got over almost 800 videos now. This is where you pick up a lot of good tips. You'll get these automatically every day. Just hit that subscribe button. And if you want to learn more, again, go to our website, www.citizenshipquickly.com, and just ask for some help, and hit that comment button below. If you got a question or comment, just put it below, and I'll look forward to talking to you in the next video. Take care.